You check your bag once, and it comes out looking like it fought a forklift and lost. Today, I'm showing you the checked luggage that can actually survive baggage claim. I tested 5 popular checked bag options, from budget hard shells to premium spinners, based on real-world stuff that matters. Durability, how they roll when they're heavy, organization, security, and whether they still feel new after a few trips. Stick around, because the top 2 are built very differently, and which one is best depends on how you pack and how rough your travel days usually get. Number 5. US Traveler, US 09181 K30. I started with the US Traveler because it's the kind of suitcase a lot of people buy for one simple reason. The price is attractive, and it looks like a real, modern checked bag. In hand, it feels lightweight for a large checked piece, and the shell has that glossy, molded look that suggests it should shrug off scuffs. For casual travel, like a couple of family vacations a year, it's immediately appealing because you get a big capacity without paying premium money. In my testing, the interior layout is straightforward and functional. You've got the classic split case design, so you can separate outfits on one side and shoes or bulkier items on the other, then close everything down with zip panels. That makes it easy to keep things from sliding around, especially if you're not a packing cube person. For basic organization, it does the job, and I didn't feel like I was fighting the bag to keep things tidy. Where it starts to fall behind is the way it handles real abuse. After a few trips worth of simulated rough handling, dragging over uneven sidewalks, loading into a trunk, and the general airport treatment, the shell picked up visible scuffs quickly, especially on darker colorways. It didn't crack on me, but the finish started looking tired faster than I wanted. The telescoping handle also had a bit of wobble when fully extended, which isn't a deal breaker, but it's the kind of small annoyance you feel more when the bag is heavy and you're walking fast. Number 4. SwissGear 7366 Signature. The SwissGear immediately feels like a step up in travel readiness. It has a sturdier presence than the US Traveler, and it's clearly designed for people who want a tough hardside checked bag with a bit more structure and brand credibility. The shell feels more robust in hand, and it handled the usual handling abuse, curbs, trunk loading, baggage belts without making me nervous. Packing is one of its strong points. It's expandable, so when I overdid it with souvenirs and extra layers, I had room to grow without doing the sit on the suitcase and pray closing technique. Inside, it's practical. You can separate clean and worn clothes easily, and the clamshell design makes it simple to keep things from shifting too much. On wheels, it's mostly smooth and controlled. In the airport, it followed well and didn't fishtail, and it stayed stable when standing upright in lines. The handle felt solid enough, and overall it gave me that this is a real piece of luggage impression rather than a disposable travel box. But here's where I have to be a little critical. The bag is not exactly subtle in weight and footprint once packed. With expansion used, it can get bulky fast, and that can push you closer to airline weight limits if you're a heavy packer. It's the kind of bag that encourages you to bring more, then punishes you at the check-in scale. 3. Briggs & Riley Baseline Medium Spinner. This is where the list shifts from good luggage to serious travel equipment. This bag feels engineered. The fabric construction has that premium, dense weave that resists snagging, and the whole thing feels like it was built for people who travel for work or travel constantly and need luggage that behaves predictably. The standout experience for me was how stable and composed it felt while moving. It rolls with that quiet, confident glide that instantly reduces travel stress. In long terminals, I wasn't fighting the suitcase, it just followed. The handle action felt smooth and precise, and the bag stayed balanced even when packed unevenly. Packing is also excellent because the interior structure feels intentional, not generic. It's easy to keep shirts and jackets neat, and it does a great job holding shape, which matters when you're living out of a suitcase for multiple stops. It also feels like the corners and edges are reinforced in the places that actually take impact. In real use, this kind of bag shines on multi-city travel. I didn't baby it, and it shrugged off the typical abuse that destroys cheaper luggage over time. If you value reliability and want something that stays functional for years, it's an investment-style purchase. The trade-off is that it's not a cheap thrill. You're paying for build quality and long-term ownership. But if you've ever had a wheel break mid-trip or a handle jam when you're rushing to a connection, the value becomes obvious fast. 2. Monos Hybrid Trunk. The Monos is for the traveler who wants maximum protection and a premium feel, especially for longer trips. The trunk format is a game changer if you pack big items, stack outfits, or travel with gear that needs structure. Instead of fighting a traditional suitcase shape, you're loading vertically with more usable depth. What impressed me first was how sturdy it feels. The hybrid concept gives you that reinforced, protective vibe you normally associate with higher-end hard cases. It's the bag I'd pick when I'm checking items I really don't want crushed, like gifts, breakable souvenirs, or structured clothing that hates being bent. In motion, it's surprisingly manageable for a trunk-style bag. In airports, it rolled smoothly and felt stable, even when I packed it heavy. The handle and wheels felt premium and consistent, which matters because trunks can become awkward if the rolling system is mediocre. Packing-wise, it's a dream for organization if you like categories. I could separate shoes, outerwear, and folded stacks without the bag turning into chaos. For longer trips, that structure helps you stay sane, especially if you're moving hotels and repacking often. The only reason it's not number one is versatility. The trunk format is amazing for some travelers, but if you frequently deal with small hotel rooms, tight taxis, or limited storage space, the tall shape can be slightly less convenient than a more traditional medium check-in spinner. Still, for long-haul travelers and overpackers who want protection, this is a standout. 1. Travelpro Platinum Elite Medium Check-in Spinner. It earns the top spot because it nails the balance that most travelers actually need: durability, smooth handling, smart features, and day-to-day practicality. This feels like luggage designed by someone who has sprinted through an airport, checked bags 100 times, and knows exactly what breaks first. Rolling performance is the headline. It glides. On smooth floors, it's effortless, and on rougher surfaces, it stays composed instead of chattering. The spinner behavior feels controlled, not twitchy, and it tracks well when you're weaving through crowds. The handle feels sturdy and comfortable, which matters when you're pulling it for 20 minutes straight. Packing is where it quietly wins. The interior is built for real travelers, people who need organization without wasting space. I could keep formal items from wrinkling too badly, stash smaller essentials where they didn't disappear, and still have the main compartment feel open and easy to load. It's the kind of suitcase that makes you feel more organized than you actually are. In durability, it feels like it's ready for repeated check-ins. The materials don't feel fragile, the corners feel protected, and the overall construction gives you confidence that it won't fall apart after a few hard landings. After testing it through typical travel abuse, curbs, car trunks, baggage belts, it held up in a way that makes it easy to recommend. Most importantly, it fits the widest range of travelers. Whether you travel for work, take family trips, or do a couple longer vacations a year, it just makes sense. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.